Shalom Aleichem, blessed souls. This is Danzos Goodman. It's now Yud Gimel, the 13th of Tevis, Tafshin Ayin, 5,770 years, blazing and grazing into the creation, Shnat 770. And I'd like to give you a little synopsis of the type of Torah that I am sharing with blessed Bnei Noach, descendants of Noah, which we learned this past first day of the week, Sunday, which was Asara B'Tevet, the 10th of Tevis in the Hebrew month. Basically, what we did with Blessed Souls is that we reviewed some basic concepts from a very important book called Sheva Mitzvahs Hashem, which are the 7 commandments of Hashem, which were originally given to Adam when he was given 6, and then the 7th was added to Noah and his 3 sons after they were blessed coming out of the ark. Ham, Shem, and Japhet. And we learn basically from the laws of the foundation of the Torah, Hilchot Yesod Torah, how we recognize that the Yesodot Amud Chochmot is to know that there's a Motzi Rishon, that the foundation of all foundations and pillar of all wisdoms is to know that there is a first being that we are human beings, part of this earth which is filled with animal beings, vegetable beings, and inanimate beings. All of us beings, created entities, are emanating from a original being, with the Lubavitcher Rebbe at times coined a super being to make the concept of the Almighty more accessible in the English language. However, even the whole idea of being in itself is a projection of an awareness to us from the blessed Creator, the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, infinite Creator, may be blessed. And there are basic concepts we should be aware of in order to avoid idolatry. Discussed the idea that He is one and not two. He's not a manifestation of multiplicity, and that because He is, we exist. He does not need us, but we certainly need Him. Every moment we get the breath of life. As well as that He causes the constellations, the planets, to move, because no one has ever observed the revolving, the movement of the planetary bodies, including the Earth. No one's ever seen a force that has acted upon it. And basic physics dictates that if there is some sort of mass and it is in movement, that means some sort of energy is interacting with that mass to make it in motion. So we know the Most High is moving all of the constellations heavenly in the heaven, and hopefully the constellations within our own awareness, which He is, we just become aware, which is our mind and our hearts. That being said, this is what I also shared with the participants in last Sunday's class, a teaching from a very important book from Rabbi Yitzhak Ginsburg, who wrote a seminal work called Kabbalah and Meditation for the Nations, which you can learn more about by going to www.inner.org. I seriously suggest for the serious student of the 7 Noahide commandments to pick up this book. Also, there's another book I'd like to recommend you of, which is called The Divine Code, which is the English translation of Sheva Mitzvahs Hashem by Rabbi Moshe Wiener, which also you can learn more about by going to www.asknoah.org. And concluding, blessed, I want to give you a little more of a taste of what type of teachings we're sharing, extracting from page 48 of Rav Ginsburg's book, which, by the way, permission is granted to share these teachings as long as we can give the source, which I did, Rav Ginsburg, from his seminal work. And you can learn more about this book and his wonderful teachings of Torah from, again, www.inner.org. So this is footnote 16 in page 48, Blessed Souls, which we learned during the class. The sages, meaning the Israelite sages, explained that the first letter of the Torah, the Beit, alludes to the Torah word for blessing, bracha, which begins with a Beit. The blessing in mind at the outset of creation is the priestly blessing, known in Hebrew as Birkat Kohanim, which one can learn about, Blessed Souls, by going to the book of Numbers, Sefer B'Midbar, chapter 6, verses 24 through 26, which consists of 3 individual blessings. So Rav Ginsburg mentions that the fact that 3 blessings were given alludes to 3 times, which is the numerical value of the word for blessing, bracha. So bracha, which has a gematria, mathematical computation of 227, 3 times 227 is 681. The same number that is the number of the numerical values of heavens and earth, Shemayim, Eretz. That being said, blessed souls, I think if I can extract out, as I extrapolated a little bit out, perhaps going out on a limb, but hopefully this can be the subject of more fertile and healthy discussion, Shachlavatariya, question and answers, and his bonanus, analytical thinking according to Talmudic reasoning, oral tradition reasonings of our people, the nation of Israel, and also something which the blessed B'nai Noach can participate in order to further distance themselves from idolatry and blasphemy and recognition of the Most High. That since we start the Torah with a base, a beit, which stands for bracha, and that Rav Ginsburg connects to the idea of brachat kohanim, if we look at the Midbar 624, let me just get there. Please bear with me. That although this blessing was site-specific, meaning nation-specific, where the Most High spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron his son, saying, so you shall bless the children of Israel, saying to them, may Hashem bless you and safeguard you. May Hashem illuminate His countenance for you and be gracious to you. May Hashem, the Almighty, lift His countenance to you and establish peace for you." That since the base of blessing is connected with the very first letter of the Torah, which is a base, that hopefully we can learn from this as an instruction, a universal instruction for all mankind to go with a good heart and with joy to wish that each person may be blessed by the Almighty and be safeguarded, that the Almighty should illuminate His countenance for each person and be gracious to them, and may the Almighty lift His countenance to everyone and establish peace for them, not just for the children of Israel, but also for the blessed B'nai Noach. So this is Dan Zussi Goodman reporting live, although by the time you see this recording, it will be just that, a recording from the past, but hopefully to influence all those who can make it this coming Sunday, which will be January 3rd, 2010, and also it shall be Yud Zayin Tevis, Taf Shin Ayin, or the 17th of Tevis, 5,770 years into the blessed creation. The class will be held at 10:30 a.m. at the Frankel Shul at 1699 President Street in Brooklyn, New York, in the Crown Heights section of Brooklyn, New York, at the Frankel Shul, which is at 1699 President Street, which is President Street, where we are, is located between the crossroads of Utica Avenue and Rochester Avenue. And also a special shout out to the president of our blessed congregation, the Frankel Shul, Reb Feivel Kaplan, and the organizer and the person who really caught a fire and is trying to spread the fire, the awareness of the 7 Noahide commandments, through his advertising and assisting me in presenting these classes, Reb Baruch HaKohen Haffinger. So for everyone, have a blessed day. This is Dan Zussi Goodman signing off from Crown Heights. Sababa, rejoice, Ahava Echad, one love, Bagorel Echad, one destiny, Babori Echad, in the one Creator, Ba'ofen Nitzchi, in an eternal way.